So today I want to talk about something that's absolutely critical in surviving uncertain times such as those presented to us right now, and that's ritual and routine. So what's so important about rituals and routines? And if you think about your normal life outside of lockdown, outside of COVID, is we never really think about the uncertainty of it all. And the reason we don't think about the uncertainty of life is because we have rituals and routines. We wake up at the same time every morning, we get up in the same routine, we have a shower, we feed ourselves, we feed the kids, we get in the car, we go to work. And there we have certain routines that we continue with every now and then. Now, what does that have to do with coffee? Coffee is a very powerful morning ritual and routine, well, for me anyway. So I want to get the kettle going, and while I'm doing that, let's think about this whole idea of ritual and routine. You see, I hear so many people talk to me about being worried about their life, about being uncertain about the future, that they might lose their job, they might get sick, they might die. Well, those are realities at every other time of the year, every other week of the year, every other day of the week. They're heightened right now because we don't have the normal routines. We're having uncertainty about what will happen tomorrow. So the kettle's boiling, and let's have a look at how to make a proper cup of coffee, and then we'll talk about ritual. So most people are unfortunately kind of addicted to instant coffee, and life really is too short for instant coffee. So we're going to make a proper cup of coffee to get the day going. And what most people would do is they would take their freshly ground beans, throw it in the plunger and make the coffee. What you should do, however, is just put a little bit of boiling water in there, swirl it around, put that in the cup. And once you've done that, you're then going to take your nice big heaped spoonful. So I love in that freshly ground coffee a Starbucks bean that we grind, and then I mix with that some vanilla flavored coffee, around about 1 spoon vanilla to 2 spoons of the Starbucks Arabica. Then this water that's warmed up your mug a little bit has cooled down a little bit, so you want to pour that into the coffee, swirl that around, and that just really means that you're not going to be burning the ground coffee that you have in there. I then like to measure out, because I'm a little bit OCD, around a mug that I'm going to be making, because I'm just making for myself, and just top it up with a little bit for luck. And then it's important to give it a good stir. And what you want to do to stir that is not use a metal spoon, because that's going to affect the flavour of the coffee as well. So I've got my trusty wooden coffee stirrer. Give it a couple of good stirs, and then we're going to put that in, and that's going to brew for a couple of minutes. And while that's brewing, let's think a little bit about how we can better manage what we do in times of uncertainty. So what's made our mortality so much more real right now is the fact, as I say, that we don't have that ritual and routine. We're stuck at home for most of us. We're not sure when it's going to end. We feel that we've completely lost control. But you know what? You never really had control in the first place. We had this false sense of security, this false sense of control based on the rituals and the routines that we've always followed. So how do I cope in times like this? Well, try and stick to a routine that works for you. So get out of bed, wake up at the normal time. If you've got kids and family, that obviously helps because you've got homeschooling and all sorts of other things. But get up at the same time. If you normally go to gym or do a training session, whether it's at home, whether it's during your exercise period in this lockdown phase, but do something that you would normally do. Make your coffee, go through your normal routines, have a shower, get dressed. Even if you're not going anywhere, the fact that you're having a shower and getting appropriately dressed for the kind of work that you would do, even if you're working from home, that gives us that sense of routine. It allows us to feel the certainty that is so important in coping mentally in times like this. So by now the coffee should have brewed. You're going to give it a nice good plunge. I like pouring mine quite slowly because I really like that sort of rich crema at the top of the coffee. Just about like that. I enjoy a bit of milk with mine, so we're going to put in just a dash of milk. And that's my coffee making routine. That's my morning ritual. whether I'm training on training days or not training, when I've got early morning Zoom calls, which I've been having a ton of, I try and stick to this routine, and it helps us mentally have some certainty about what the future holds. Please remember that even before COVID, nothing in your future was certain. You could have lost your job at any time. You could have died in a car accident any time. You could have contracted a mortal disease at any time. But we don't think about it because we're so ingrained in our normal processes, our normal rituals, and our normal routines. Till next time, cheers.